How is it going, everyone? Turns my WWE NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff review. Of course, NXT TakeOver UK Cardiff took place live on the WWE Network back on August 31st. I know this review is about a week and a half late. To be perfectly honest, I had no intentions of watching the show. I honestly have no interest in NXT UK. The NXT UK TakeOver special back in January in Blackpool didn't blow me away, so I just honestly didn't have any interest in the show at all. I was interested in the main event, but that was pretty much about it. I knew I'd probably go back at some point and check that out, but besides that, the rest of the show I did not care for. But once it was airing, you know, I was seeing a lot of rave reviews for the show. A lot of people really enjoyed it. People were saying it was up there with any NXT TakeOver. Just saying it was a great show. Even some people thought it was better than AEW All Out that weekend, or that same night, as I should say. So the reviews of the show from a lot of people, especially the main event, you know, hearing how amazing the main event was made me really want to check the show out as well. On my side, no, it's screwed. I'll go and watch the show. So that's why this review didn't happen, you know, a few days after it aired, because I just didn't have any interest in it. The reviews made me want to see it. And, you know, another reason why I didn't want to watch either, because I knew that day I had AEW All Out to watch. Even though I didn't watch that day because I ended up being out for the day, so I ended up watching either show live. But, you know, I was going to watch that show and didn't care to watch NXT UK TakeOver, but like I said, due to the reviews from everyone raving about it, I definitely thought I'd check it out. So, without wasting my time, let's go ahead and jump right in the video with our overall thoughts on NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff. I thought it was a great show. I thought, you know, 3 of the 6 matches, which is pretty much half the show, were great matches, especially one of them. One of them was just a spectacular matchup that I absolutely loved every second of. But besides that, the other matches I thought were fine. You know, they were good, but they could have been a lot better. I don't know, I was kind of let down on some of those matchups, but I still thought it was a hell of a show. Definitely better than the UK TakeOver Blackpool from January. And yeah, overall I thought it was a great show. I mean, I didn't think it lived up to the hype from what people were hyping up as to it to be on Twitter, at least I thought. But I still thought it was a great show nonetheless. Yeah, definitely was enjoyed by it. Of course, first match we had to open the show was Travis Banks taking on Noam. This was a technically good match, but honestly, I just didn't care for it. Something just wasn't clicking for me with this match, and I don't know what it was. It lacked a lot of stuff. The crowd was really into it, but for me personally, I don't know. Something wasn't clicking, and I just felt like there really wasn't a sense of urgency from either guy. And I felt like this match could have been a lot better, because both guys are really good, but this match just did not really click as well as I was hoping. Noam, of course, worked on the arm and neck of Travis Banks, you know, since it was injured. Travis Banks would have a comeback on Noam Dar, which would lead to a dropkick followed by a German suplex. But the thing is, Noam Dar had, you know, Travis Banks scouted so well. Pretty much anything Travis Banks was able to counter or do, Noam Dar was able to, you know, counter those. So that's why Noam Dar is very dominant in this match. Travis Banks had an outbreak to which he was able to hit or he attempted a slice of heaven, but again, that was countered due to the scoutness of Noam Dar on Travis Banks into an ankle lock, which that was a great spot. Travis Banks at some point was able to hit the slice of heaven onto the outside, rolled Noam Dar back in for a double foot stomp for a 2 count. That was a great near fall, I thought. And then, of course, you know, Travis Banks attempted the slice of heaven one more time. Noam Dar was able to counter that, hit the Nova roller for the 1-2-3, and picks up the win against Travis Banks. So Noam Dar defeats Travis Banks. Like I said, I thought it was a good match. I expected more out of it, but for opening, I enjoyed it. From there, I'm going to go to an open challenge by Cesaro, which was accepted by none other than Dragunov. So Cesaro versus Dragunov, second match of the show, and it was fucking awesome. This was an amazing match. Dragunov came like a complete star. His selling, just his, you know, just the way he carried himself in this match. You know, such an urgency, the way he reacted to everything, the facial expressions. Again, that, you know, goes back to, like I said, his selling was just superb. You know, his comebacks. He knew how to play his cards right in this match against Cesaro, and of course Cesaro is just absolutely amazing. Wouldn't mind seeing an NXT UK run from Cesaro, which maybe could be a potential, you know, UK title run by him. But yeah, this match was pretty much everything: hard hitting, stiff, a lot of chops, and Cesaro was laying those chops in. It was beautiful. I loved absolutely every second of it. A lot of exchanges from the get-go, to the point where, you know, Dragunov told Cesaro to pretty much bring it. Cesaro would then, you know, pretty much toss Dragunov to the outside. They'd fight out there. Dragunov had a comeback. Attempted at 619, but Cesaro caught him into a Cesaro swing, but he didn't rotate him not once, twice, 10, 20, but 40 times he rotated Dragunov, which was followed by a crossface. Just absolutely insane. The crowd ate it up, and it was awesome. It was awesome. But Dragunov was able to get some more life, hit a clothesline, followed by a 619, which actually connected with Cesaro for a great. So that was great. And then ended up hitting a coast to coast on Cesaro. So it's a lot of crazy stuff going back and forth. Cesaro hit a beautiful running uppercut to Dragunov for a near fall. Cesaro does another one, but Dragunov was actually able to counter a running uppercut into a backslide, which came out so smooth and crisp. Looked absolutely awesome for a near fall. Dragunov was able to hit a senton, was going for his finish, but Cesaro countered into a pop-up uppercut, which absolutely killed Dragunov, followed by the neutralizer. 1, 2, 3, Cesaro defeats Dragunov. Absolutely insane match. Loved every second of it. Like I said, it was very hard hitting. Dragunov came like a complete star. Cesaro, matches like this make me wonder why this guy's in the main event star on the main roster. It just blows my mind. But yeah, it was everything you could have asked for. And of course, afterwards, they showed a great show of respect for each other. So yeah, one of the best things on the show by far. From there, we go to a triple threat match for the NXT UK Tag Team Championship. Grizzled Young Veterans defending against Gallus and Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. This was a great triple threat tag team match. It was a lot of fun, actually. I thought, Grizzled Young Veterans and Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews looked great. Gallus didn't really play much of a role in this match. I feel like they're kind of just there. I mean, they had a big spot where Mark Coffey was thrown to the outside to take everyone out by Wolfgang. But besides that, I feel like the presence of Gallus in this match was really unwarranted and definitely should have been a regular tag team match between Grizzled Young Veterans and Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. But, the involvement of three teams, like I said, were great. Grizzled Young Veterans played a great heel role. They had a lot of great saves in this match, which the crowd ate up, especially one insane near fall that they were able to interrupt to prevent a title change from going on. So, and James Drake, man, that guy was eating up everything he was doing. He was showboating like no tomorrow. Flash Morgan Webster and, of course, Mark Andrews were just doing a bunch of dives and a lot of crazy shit. And yeah, so just a lot of stuff going on in this match. It was nonstop action. It was pretty much a sprint from start to finish, with a lot of crazy stuff. Right from the bell exchange, all teams just did a huge six-man brawl pretty much. An awesome spot where Mark Andrews hit a reverse Rana on Wolfgang, which was followed by, he was going for a reverse Hurricanrana, but Wolfgang tried to counter it, but Flash Morgan Webster hit him with a running knee, and then Mark Andrews was followed to follow through with the reverse Rana, which I thought was a great spot right there. Grizzled Young Vets were very dominant on the outside. James Drake was able to do a Doomsday device through the ropes on the outside, which came off greatly. Mark Andrews was able to hit a double Pele on Gallus when they're double teaming on him, which was great. A lot of dives from Andrews and Flash Morgan, like I said. Awesome spot where everyone was brawling on the outside. Then, of course, Mark Andrews went to the top, hit a shooting star press onto everyone, which everyone, went absolutely crazy for. Grizzled Young Vets had a great near fall where they were able to hit the Helter Skelter into the 450 onto, I believe it was Andrews or Flash Morgan Webster. I forgot which one of them they were. I think it was Andrews. But he kicked out at two. The crowd absolutely went crazy for it because everyone thought for sure that was it. Wolfgang hit an awesome spear on Mark Andrews. The way Andrews sold that spear was absolutely tremendous. Then, of course, the finish was coming. Flash Morgan Webster got hit with a 450 splash, or hit a 450 splash, I should say, onto James Drake, but Zach Gibson pulled the referee out to prevent the title change, which the crowd absolutely got heated for. And then, Grizzled Young Veterans had the victory onto Flash Morgan Webster, hit the tick of the mayhem, but James Drake took out Gallus, and as Zach Gibson was covering Flash Morgan Webster, Mark Andrews hit a shooting star press on both men, threw over Webster on Gibson. 1, 2, 3. Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews are your brand new NXT UK Tag Team Champions. Like I said, this was a great triple threat match. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was a sprint from start to finish. Andrews and Webster, as well as Grizzled Young Veterans, looked great. Gallus, like I said, kind of fell out of place and didn't really need to have a presence there. But besides that, fantastic match. Second best match in the show, if you ask me. A lot of fun. From there, I'm going to go to a last man standing match between Dave Mastiff and Joe Coffey. This was good, but I feel like it should have been cut by like 5 minutes, and I don't know. It just kind of felt like a regular last man standing match. I appreciated the amount of weapons they used, because they did use a lot of weapons in terms of chains, kendo sticks, chairs, even brawled up to the stage. They used a lot of different weapons, so I'll give them, that for being creative, using different things rather than the standard weapons you usually see in these matches. So I'll give them that. But besides that, I don't know. I felt like something was missing, and the finish really wasn't the best either. So what can you really do? Right from the get-go, they brawled on the ramp, which would lead back in the ring, and which, the top turnbuckle was immediately broken when Coffey got Irish whipped into the turnbuckle, took the Brett bump, and then the turnbuckle exploded, so the top rope was completely broken pretty much throughout the entire match. Mastiff gave Coffey a bunch of German suplexes on the outside, which were insane. Coffey had a comeback, speared him to the barricade. Mastiff then end up hitting a cannonball through a table set up onto the barricade on the Coffey for a near count right there. They would fight into the crowd. Then, of course, they would get onto like a, like the rampish area, and then they both would fall off the stage through a table. The referee's counting. They're using like the stage equipment to like help themselves up, and then Coffey just kicks the one that Mastiff was using to help himself up, and of course kicks underneath him. Mastiff falls at the 9 count. Really lame. Coffey gets up, and then the referee counts 10. So Joe Coffey was your last man standing. Like I said, I thought the finish was really lame with Coffey just kicking it. I mean, it's outsmarting him, but I just feel like with the two huge men that they are, they should have just had a battle until one of them just legitimately could not get up. But they didn't really do that, and it kind of gave a lame last man standing finish. So it was good, but it could have been a lot more. It should have been cut by 5 minutes, honestly. It would have made a difference if it was. From there, we go to the NXT UK Women's Championship match. Toni Storm defending against Kaylee Ray. This was an alright match. There really wasn't much to it. They really led in the story about, how kind of Kaylee Ray kind of turned on her and whatever. And they really heavily relied on that in commentary. And the in-ring work really wasn't much. Kaylee Ray just stalled a lot at the very beginning. A lot of, back and forth. Toni Storm was able to hit a code red, and then it was able to hit a Storm Zero for a near fall very early on. It was like 5 minutes in the match, she did Storm Zero, and then Kaylee Ray just kicked out of it. Toni Storm tried to hit a Storm Zero off the second, but Kaylee Ray got out of it. Hit her a super kick, or no, she hit a super kick by a gory bomb, which Toni Storm kicked out of. And then Toni Storm went for a Storm Zero off the second, I believe, which Kaylee Ray was able to counter that into a gory bomb off the ropes, followed by another gory bomb. 1, 2, 3. Kaylee Ray is your brand new NXT UK Women's Champion. I don't think anyone saw it coming, but the rumors are that Toni Storm is making the transition from NXT UK to NXT. So, I mean, if she is, the finish makes all the sense in the world to the championship offer. But to put on Kaylee Ray, I don't know. I just feel like it's very random, and I don't know. I just feel like Kaylee Ray kind of didn't she just debut for like a few months ago, it seemed like? I know she was fairly recent, or maybe I'm not out of the loop on NXT UK, I don't know, but I don't know. I just thought she was an odd choice to beat Toni Storm, and I don't know, it was kind of like a flat match, and the title changes didn't really mean anything, so I don't know. Like I said, the only thing that makes sense is Toni Storm makes the transition, but besides that, I expected more of a match. And then we had the main event, which was the WWE United Kingdom Championship match. Walter, of course, defending against Tyler Bate. Holy fuck, what an incredible match we had here between Walter and Tyler Bate. These two went out there and told an incredible story, especially with the size difference. Obviously, Walter is a huge man. Tyler Bate isn't exactly the biggest guy, so the size difference played into it a phenomenal story. Just the way Tyler Bate was having that, fighting spirit and coming back against Walter, and Walter was just absolutely destroying this man. Caving his chest in with chops and just locking him in various submission holds and just working down Tyler Bate, and Tyler Bate had to do everything he could to fire back and come back against Walter. They just told an incredible story, and the in-ring action was just as superb, and the crowd was heavily behind it. So Walter and Tyler Bate, definitely a match of the year contender, definitely one of the best matches in WWE period this year. Just incredible stuff from both men, and I couldn't have asked for a better main event from these two, because these two just tore the house down. Right from the get-go, Tyler Bate was kind of fooling with Walter, trying to maneuver around him, and Walter was kind of just chopping at him, trying to tear him down. Tyler Bate was able to kind of chop Walter down, send him to the outside, attempted a suicide dive, but Walter countered it into an apron powerbomb, which absolutely just killed Tyler Bate. And then, of course, he powerbombed into the barricade, or he swung into the barricade, and then powerbombed him into the steel post. Medical came out, checked on him. Tyler Bate said he was able to continue, therefore they continued the match, which I thought was a nice touch to tease a count out too, which I thought was great. So that was, like I said, nice touch right there. Tyler Bate had some fight. Walter tried to power bomb him off of the top rope onto the outside, but Tyler Bate was able to fight out of it into a exploder off the apron on the outside, which was absolutely insane. At that point, Tyler Bate had a little hope. He had a little comeback, but Walter was able to chop him back down. Ended up putting him in a lion tamer, which looked absolutely vicious. Looked like he nearly just broke Tyler Bate in half trying to apply that, which looked absolutely insane. Tyler Bate had another comeback, which involved yet another exploder, followed by a running shooting star for a great near fall. Walter attempted a powerbomb, but Tyler Bate was able to counter that into a code red, which was absolutely insane. One spot which I love, by the way, was Tyler Bate was able to hit, I believe, the bang to because, you know, or Bop and Bang. He hit Bop, but Walter was able to counter Bang and went for a clothesline, I believe, but he ended up hitting Bang. And when he fell down, he fell on his stomach, but then Walter fell on top of him. And he was like kind of struggling because Walter fell on top of him. He couldn't, you know, counter over it, or he couldn't, you know, like take advantage of it and cover him, whatever. I just thought it was a funny little touch, but it played a big effect in the storytelling of the match. So I thought that was just absolutely great. And then, of course, you know, Walter tried to take Tyler Bate off the top rope, but Tyler Bate took Pete Dunne's finger snap, which was able to knock down Walter, followed by another exploder off the second, which was just insane. Tyler Bate was just hitting exploders on Walter like they're absolutely nothing. And then he was actually able to hit an airplane spin on Walter, which is absolutely insane. Followed it up with a burning hammer. Shout out to Trent 7 there. Hit a burning hammer on Walter, which is just absolutely, the crowd lost their mind for that near fall as well, which was absolutely insane. Tyler Bate was there, the Tyler driver for a near fall, kicked out of it. Hit the spiral tap, kicked out of it. And then Walter was able to apply a lot of chokeholds. Tyler Bate was fighting for everything he possibly could. Got to the ropes, but then Walter was able to hit a half suplex onto the apron. Yeah, that was absolutely insane. Pushed in Tyler Bate, followed up with a splash, which was a move that won the championship at NXT TakeOver New York and Pete Dunne. Tyler Bate kicks out of it. Walter is losing his mind. Then he follows it up with another half and half. Followed up with a powerbomb, and then he kicks out at 1, which the crowd's losing their mind for. Walter's pissed, chops his chest a few times, followed by one crazy Stan Hansen-like lariat for the 1, 2, 3, and Walter finally puts down Tyler Bate to retain his WWE United Kingdom Championship. Insane match. This match was like 43, 46 minutes, something like that. And this match went by like that. It did not feel long. It smoothed over greatly, even though there's a lot of, you know, the match kind of felt slow at sometimes, but they were doing it for a reason, because it was contributing to, you know, Tyler Bate's comeback, or, you know, Walter, you know, cutting down on Bate, or whatever it might have been. I thought, you know, the slow spots that there were, they were able to tell a story during that time period to make up for the slowness. So these two just went out there and painted a masterpiece, and like I said, a match of candidate by far, arguably best match from WWE period, whether it's from the main roster, NXT, NXT UK. This potentially is the best WWE produced match this year period. Just absolutely incredible. And yeah, it definitely was a tremendous way to cap off the show. Of course, afterwards, you know, Pete Dunne and Trent 7 came out to support Tyler Bate for his tremendous performance afterwards, and that's how they signed off the crowd. And that was a fantastic way to close a great show. Like I said, I thought NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff was a great show. I didn't think it was spectacular. I honestly didn't think it was better than AEW All Out, but I still thought it was a great show from NXT UK. Definitely was better than the Blackpool TakeOver from January, but I feel like there still needs to be improvements. There's still things that are missing about this brand that I feel like isn't there yet, and definitely needs to be, you know, for people to invest and garner more interest in, I feel like. So I don't know. We'll see the future of NXT UK obviously going down the line. But yeah, like I said, that was a great show. Fantastic main event. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, please feel free to leave a like below. And of course, next time, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching the video.
I just want time in a tree. I need a place just for me.